A young boy stands at the edge of a sun-drenched football pitch in July. The grass is slightly overgrown, the air smells of parched earth, and the afternoon stretches out like an infinite ocean. To him, the 90 minutes of a match feel like a lifetime. The 6-week summer holiday is a geological epoch. Now, look at the man in the executive suite overlooking that same pitch 30 years later. He is checking a watch that never seems to stop. For him, the entire season, 10 months of triumph and failure, has passed in what feels like a weekend. The stadium lights flicker on, and he wonders where the year went. It is the great, silent heist of the human experience. Why does time accelerate as we lose our youth? The answer isn't found in the ticking of a clock. It's found in the betrayal of our own biology. We are living through a temporal paradox that scales with our pulse. Every year you live, the next one becomes a smaller fraction of the whole. But there is something deeper, something more systemic at play. It is a theft orchestrated by routine, efficiency, and the very way our brains process the world. We are moving faster, but we are seeing less. The game is being played at a frantic pace, yet the highlights are disappearing. This is the investigation into why your life is speeding up, and who, or what, is holding the stopwatch. To understand the acceleration, we must first look at the proportional theory. It is the most logical, and perhaps the most devastating explanation for our disappearing years. Imagine your life as a ledger. When you are 5 years old, a single year represents 20% of your entire existence. It is a massive, looming block of time. It is an era. When you turn 50, that same one-year span represents a mere 2% of your journey. To a child, a year is a mountain. To an adult, it is a pebble. This isn't just math. It is the fundamental architecture of how we value duration. Think of it like a football club's trophy cabinet. In the first few years of a club's existence, every single win is a monumental event. Every goal is etched into the collective memory because there is so little history to compete with. But as the decades pile up and the cabinet fills with silver, individual matches begin to blur. The significance of a single 90-minute window is diluted by the sheer volume of what came before. Our brains are the historians of our lives, and they are becoming increasingly selective about what they archive. But the proportional theory is only the surface. The real shock comes when we examine the oddball effect. This is a psychological phenomenon where the brain expands time when it encounters something new. In a famous experiment, subjects were shown a series of identical images, say, a brown shoe, followed by one oddball image, like a bright red flower. Even though every image was on screen for the exact same amount of time, the subjects consistently reported that the red flower stayed longer. The brain is an energy-saving machine. It is the ultimate efficiency consultant. When it encounters a familiar stimulus, it stops recording in high definition. It skims. It creates a shorthand. For a child, the world is a relentless parade of oddballs. Every stadium they enter is the biggest they've ever seen. Every tactical shift is a revelation. Every rainy Tuesday is a new sensory experience. Their brains are firing at maximum capacity, capturing every frame of the film. Consequently, when they look back, the film of their childhood is rich, detailed, and incredibly long. As adults, we have optimized the new right out of our lives. We have built systems of routine that would make a world-class manager weep with joy. We wake up at the same time. We take the same route to work. We sit in the same chair. We follow the same seasonal cycles of the industry. To our brains, this is dead air. Since there is nothing new to report, the brain simply stops hitting the record button. We are living through the days, but we aren't storing them. When you look back at a month of commuting and spreadsheets, your brain sees a single, compressed file. You didn't live 30 days. You lived one day 30 times. The film of your adult life is being edited down to a montage of nothingness. This is where the institutional power of the routine takes hold. Just as a governing body like FIFA or the Premier League seeks to standardize every aspect of the game for the sake of broadcast consistency and revenue, our society standardizes our time. We are funneled into a season of life that demands predictability. Predictability is the enemy of time perception. It is the ultimate time compressor. We have traded the infinite summer of our youth for the efficient quarter of our careers. We are winning the battle for productivity, but we are losing the war for duration. The expansion of this problem is not just psychological, it is physiological. There is a biological frame rate to human life. Our internal clocks are tied to our metabolism and our neural processing speed. When you are young, your heart beats faster, your lungs move more air, and your neurons fire with a frantic, electric urgency. You are, quite literally, taking more snapshots of the world per second. Your internal camera is shooting at 120 frames per second. As we age, the machinery slows down. Our metabolism drops. Our neural pathways, once high-speed fiber optics, become congested and frayed. We begin shooting at 24 frames per second. The external world, however, does not slow down to match us. The match continues at the same pace, but our ability to process the action is lagging. Because we are taking fewer internal snapshots, the external world appears to be moving faster. It's like watching a high-speed car race on an old buffering internet connection. The frames are skipping. The car is at the start line, then it's at the first turn, then it's at the finish. You miss the nuance of the drift. You miss the heat haze on the asphalt. You just saw the result. This is the neural speed hypothesis. It suggests that the speed of time is inversely proportional to the speed of our own thoughts. When we are young, we are oversampling our environment. We are the frantic scouts, noting every detail of the opposition's movement. As we age, we become the jaded veterans who think they've seen it all before. We stop looking at the details because we assume we know the outcome. But there is a darker, more systemic force at play here. This wasn't a series of isolated mistakes. It was exactly how the system was designed to work. We have built a world that prizes the flow state and hyper-efficiency. In the world of elite sports, flow is the holy grail. It is the moment when a player loses themselves in the game, when the crowd disappears, and the action becomes instinctive. In flow, time disappears. But we have now applied this flow model to the entirety of human existence. We have gamified our productivity. We have streamlined our consumption. Look at the way we consume information today. The scroll is the ultimate time thief. When you spend 2 hours scrolling through a social media feed, you are feeding your brain a relentless stream of micro-novelties that are actually just repetitions of the same patterns. It is a fast food version of the Oddball Effect. It gives the brain just enough dopamine to stay engaged, but not enough substance to form a lasting memory anchor. Because these digital experiences lack physical context, no smell of the grass, no chill of the wind, no tactile weight, the brain fails to categorize them as events. You look up from your phone, and 2 hours have vanished into a black hole of unrecorded time. You have effectively deleted 2 hours of your life. This institutionalized acceleration is mirrored in the sports world we inhabit. The footballization of the calendar is a perfect metaphor for the adult's perception of time. In the past, there were clear boundaries. There was the season, and then there was the off-season. There was a time for action, and a time for reflection. The off-season felt like an eternity, because it was a break in the routine. It was a new state of being. Today, the off-season has been eradicated. We have pre-season tours in July, international breaks in September, festive schedules in December, and summer tournaments in June. It is a perpetual season. When the action never stops, the landmarks disappear. Without landmarks, we lose our sense of distance. If you are driving across a featureless desert, At 100 miles per hour, you have no sensation of speed. You only feel the speed when you pass a tree, a building, or a signpost. Our modern lives have removed the signposts. We are racing across a flat, digital plain, wondering why the horizon never seems to get any closer, even as the fuel gauge hits empty. The financial implications of this are staggering. Entire industries are built on the optimization of the second. High-frequency trading, 15-minute grocery delivery, 30-second highlight reels. We are being sold time-saving devices that actually serve to accelerate our perception of the end. By saving time on the mundane, we are removing the friction that once made our days feel substantial. Friction is what creates heat. In the mind, friction is what creates memory. By making life frictionless, we are making it weightless, and weightless things fly away in the slightest breeze. We are living in an era of subjective longevity theft. The governing bodies of our society, the corporations, the tech giants, the efficiency experts, have convinced us that faster is better. They have optimized the match of our lives to be as high-scoring and fast-paced as possible to keep our eyes on the screen. But in doing so, they have robbed us of the duration. They have taken the long ball game of a deep, slow life and replaced it with a frantic, short-passing game that leaves us breathless and confused. Consider the holiday paradox. This is the final proof of the contrast engine. When you go on a 2-week vacation to a new country, the first 3 days feel like a week. You are navigating new streets, hearing a new language, and tasting new food. Your brain is in high-definition record mode. But when you return home and look back, those 2 weeks feel longer than the 3 months of work that preceded them. Subjectively, you lived more in those 14 days than in the 90 days at your desk. The tragedy of the modern adult is that we have stopped taking vacations from our routines. Not just physical vacations, but mental ones. We have stopped allowing ourselves to be beginners. To be a beginner is to be slow. To be a beginner is to be inefficient. To be a beginner is to experience time dilation. But our institutional power structures punish the beginner. They demand the expert. They demand the veteran. They demand the person who can do the job in half the time. We are being rewarded for accelerating our own demise. We are getting promoted into a faster lane of time. The higher you climb in the club of society, the more your time is managed, scheduled, and compressed. The owner of the club has less time than the ball boy, even if they have more money. The ball boy is bored. Boredom is the ultimate proof of time's abundance. To a child, boredom is a vast, terrifying desert. To an adult, boredom is a luxury we can no longer afford. We have filled every gap in the game with content. And in doing so, we have killed the space where time used to live. The wider implication is a society that is temporally exhausted. We are like a team that has played a high-pressing game for 80 minutes and has nothing left for the final whistle. We are time poor, in an age of material wealth. We are the wealthiest generation in history, yet we are the most rushed. We are the most connected generation, yet we have the least time for connection. We have optimized the product of life, but we have destroyed the process. This is the devastating conclusion of our investigation. The acceleration of time isn't a mystery, it's a consequence. It is the tax we pay for our efficiency. It is the interest on the debt of our routines. We are not losing time. We are processing it too quickly. We have become too good at living, and in our expertise, we have forgotten how to linger. We are standing in the tunnel, waiting for the final match of the season. We remember the kickoff like it was this morning. We look at our teammates, and they have aged years in what felt like weeks. The stadium is full, the noise is deafening, but we are looking at the clock. It's moving. It's always moving. And the most terrifying realization is not that the game is ending. It's that we were so busy playing the system that we forgot to feel the game. We are the architects of our own compression. We have built the stadium of routine and wondered why the sun of novelty never shines inside. We have prioritized the score over the play. We have traded the infinite summer for a seamless workflow. The boy on the pitch is gone. The grass is still there, but the forever has been mowed down. We are left with a high-speed highlight reel of a life we barely remember attending. We are the spectators of our own acceleration. We are the victims of a perfect system. The clock in the stadium shows 90 minutes. To the child in row A, it's an eternity. To the man in the VIP box, it's a heartbeat. The game is the same. The time is the same. The only difference is the cost of the experience. As the lights dim and the crowd filters out into the cold night air, one question remains. If you could trade all your efficiency for just one infinite afternoon, would you? Or has the system already won? The whistle blows. The season is over. Where did the year go?